For decades, a shadow of fear has loomed over, casting a pall on one of the most fundamental and intimate aspects of human interaction. This fear, often unspoken, has subtly altered our perceptions and behaviors, creating a barrier where there should be connection. It's a fear that whispers doubts and anxieties, impacting relationships and personal well-being. One of humanity's most basic expressions of affection, the kiss. A simple press of lips, a gesture of love, intimacy, and connection has been unfairly burdened by misinformation and unwarranted anxieties. This act, so natural and instinctive, has become a minefield of worries for some. In the early days of the HIV/AIDS epidemic, when understanding of the virus was limited and fear was rampant, a powerful myth took hold: that a kiss could transmit HIV. This misconception spread like wildfire, fueled by ignorance and a lack of scientific understanding. The media often sensationalized the issue, further exacerbating public fear and anxiety. This idea, born from panic and misinformation, took root in the collective consciousness, shaping attitudes and behaviors for years to come. It created a climate of fear and suspicion, making it difficult for people to engage in normal, healthy expressions of affection. Turned a gesture of love into a source of anxiety, a potential threat lurking behind a simple act of intimacy. The joy and spontaneity of a kiss were replaced by hesitation and worry, impacting relationships and creating emotional distance. Even today, remnants of this fear persist, lingering in the shadows of our minds and influencing our interactions. Despite scientific advancements and increased awareness, the old myths die hard, continuing to affect how we perceive and engage in physical affection, fueling stigma and emotional distance, especially for those living with HIV. This lingering fear can lead to isolation, loneliness, and a diminished quality of life for those who are already facing significant challenges. It's a subtle but powerful form of discrimination that needs to be addressed. The truth? It's time to confront the facts and dispel the myths. HIV is a formidable virus, but it's also fragile, and its transmission is not as simple as many once believed. Understanding the science behind HIV transmission is crucial to dismantling the fear and stigma that surround it, and requires a direct route into the bloodstream to infect. The virus cannot survive for long outside the human body, and it needs specific conditions to replicate and spread. Saliva, unlike blood or semen, poses virtually no risk, contains an extremely low concentration of the virus, far too little to cause infection. Scientific studies have consistently demonstrated that kissing is not a significant mode of HIV transmission. In this video, we'll break down the science, providing you with the facts and evidence you need to understand the reality of HIV transmission. Dispel the myths, separating fact from fiction and challenging the misconceptions that have fueled fear for so long, and restore confidence in this simple, beautiful act. Let's reclaim the joy and intimacy of kissing, free from the burden of unwarranted fear. Let's replace fear with knowledge, empowering ourselves and others with accurate information and a deeper understanding of HIV, and empower real human connection. By embracing the truth, we can create a more compassionate and understanding world where fear no longer dictates our interactions. Let's get straight to the point. We're going to address a common misconception about HIV transmission and put your mind at ease. It's time to debunk some myths and replace them with facts, so you can navigate social interactions with confidence and peace of mind. Closed mouth or social kissing, like a peck on the cheek or a quick lip-to-lip greeting, is completely safe. This includes those friendly cheek kisses, the kind you exchange with acquaintances or family members. It's a common way to show affection and warmth, and it carries absolutely no risk of HIV transmission. There has never been a single documented case of HIV transmission from a peck on the cheek or lips. This isn't just anecdotal evidence, it's a conclusion drawn from decades of scientific research and rigorous study. The data is clear and consistent. Casual kissing simply doesn't transmit the virus. The CDC, WHO, and every major health authority agree. They've all issued statements confirming the safety of casual kissing. These organizations base their recommendations on the best available scientific evidence, and their consensus is unwavering. Casual kissing poses zero risk. You can engage in these everyday expressions of affection without any fear of contracting HIV. It's a simple, harmless way to connect with others. Why? What makes casual kissing so safe? Let's delve into the science behind it. The skin on your lips and cheeks is a strong barrier, acting as a natural defense against viruses and bacteria. It's designed to protect your body from external threats, and it's remarkably effective at preventing HIV transmission. And saliva itself is hostile to HIV. It contains enzymes and proteins that actively neutralize the virus, making it difficult for HIV to survive and replicate. Even if traces of the virus entered the mouth, which is highly unlikely during casual kissing, saliva's natural enzymes break it down instantly. These enzymes act as a powerful line of defense, effectively dismantling the virus before it has a chance to infect any cells. So when you greet a friend or loved one with a kiss, whether it's a quick peck or a warm embrace, you can do so with total confidence, knowing that you're not putting yourself or anyone else at risk. Embrace these moments of connection without fear or hesitation. The fear attached to these simple acts is outdated and unfounded. It's a relic of a time when less was known about HIV transmission. Now, with the benefit of scientific understanding, we can dispel these anxieties. Spreading this fact helps fight stigma surrounding HIV and AIDS. By educating ourselves and others, we can challenge misconceptions and create a more informed and compassionate society, and brings us closer together, fostering a sense of understanding and empathy. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it empowers us to connect with each other without fear or prejudice. Affection is safe, let's keep it that way. Let's embrace the simple joys of human connection, knowing that a friendly kiss is a gesture of warmth and care, not a cause for concern. Saliva is more than just water, it's your body's first line of defense. The concentration of HIV in saliva is extremely low, unlike blood or semen. Saliva contains enzymes like SLPI which actively neutralize HIV on contact. Think of SLPI as a security guard stopping the virus before it can do harm. Any virus that enters the mouth is quickly swallowed and destroyed by stomach acid. This multi-layered defense makes HIV transmission through saliva virtually impossible. Our bodies are remarkably equipped to protect us, even in moments of intimacy. Understanding this science helps us move past fear. Kissing is safe, nature makes sure of it. What about deep or French kissing? Public health experts classify it as extremely low risk, not zero, but so rare it's almost theoretical. For transmission to occur, both people would need open, bleeding wounds in their mouths and one would need a high viral load. The risk comes from blood-to-blood contact, not saliva. Even then, saliva's protective enzymes are still at work. Billions of kisses happen daily, yet documented cases are virtually non-existent. The risk is so low it's not a public health concern. Deep kissing is safe for nearly everyone. In over 40 years of the HIV epidemic, a period marked by extensive research, global health initiatives, and a deeper understanding of the virus, we've learned a great deal about how HIV is, and more importantly, is transmitted. It's crucial to base our understanding on scientific evidence and verified data, especially when it comes to dispelling common misconceptions. Only one case of transmission through kissing has ever been definitively documented in medical literature. This singular instance stands out precisely because of its rarity. It's an anomaly, a deviation from the norm that has been thoroughly investigated and analyzed by experts in the field. That case involved both partners having severe gum disease, creating a highly unusual set of circumstances. The presence of significant oral health issues played a critical role in the potential for transmission. And constant bleeding, an extraordinary situation that significantly increased the risk beyond what is typically associated with kissing. This wasn't just a minor cut or occasional bleeding, it was a persistent and substantial compromise of the oral barrier. It wasn't saliva, which contains a very low concentration of HIV, making transmission through it highly unlikely under normal circumstances, but direct blood-to-blood contact that caused transmission. This highlights the importance of understanding the specific mechanisms by which HIV can be transmitted. Since then, despite ongoing research and continuous monitoring of HIV transmission patterns, no other cases have been confirmed, reinforcing the understanding that kissing is an extremely low-risk activity. Despite millions of couples engaging in this intimate act of affection worldwide, further solidifying the evidence against kissing as a significant mode of HIV transmission. And billions of kisses exchanged every day. This widespread behavior, without a corresponding increase in HIV transmission, speaks volumes about the safety of kissing. Studies of serodiscordant couples where one partner is HIV positive and the other is HIV negative consistently show that kissing is never a factor in transmission when other precautions are taken. These studies provide compelling evidence that supports the safety of kissing. If kissing were risky, we would see a noticeable pattern of transmission linked to this activity. Infection rates would look very different, with a clear correlation between kissing and new HIV diagnoses. The absence of such a correlation is a strong indicator of its safety. The science and real-world data are clear. The overwhelming body of evidence points to the fact that kissing is not a significant risk factor for HIV transmission. Kissing is not a route for HIV. It's important to rely on accurate information and avoid perpetuating unfounded fears. Focus on proven risks, such as unprotected sexual intercourse and sharing needles, not myths that can lead to unnecessary anxiety and stigma. Let's keep our attention where it matters, on the actual modes of transmission and effective prevention strategies to combat the spread of HIV effectively. To understand why kissing isn't a risk, let's look at how HIV really spreads. HIV is transmitted through blood, semen, rectal fluids, vaginal fluids, and breast milk. When these come into direct contact with mucous membranes or the bloodstream, the most common routes are unprotected sex and sharing needles. Anal sex carries the highest risk, followed by vaginal sex. Sharing needles is also a highly efficient way for the virus to spread. Mother-to-child transmission can occur during pregnancy, birth, or breastfeeding, but modern medicine has made this rare. Kissing simply doesn't fit into these categories. Knowing the real risks helps us protect ourselves and others. It's vital to separate high-risk from no-risk activities. Unprotected sex and sharing needles are responsible for most new HIV infections. Kissing, hugging, sharing dishes, or being bitten by insects? No risk. HIV isn't spread through air, water, or casual contact. The concept of undetectable equals untransmittable means people with an undetectable viral load can't transmit HIV sexually. Let's focus on real prevention: condoms, testing, and treatment. Worrying about kissing distracts from what truly matters. Facts, not fear, should guide our actions. Knowledge is power, but action is protection. Regular HIV testing is simple, confidential, and essential for everyone. The CDC recommends at least one test for everyone aged 13 to 64, and more frequent testing for those at higher risk. Condoms, when used correctly, are highly effective at preventing HIV and other STIs. PrEP, a daily pill or periodic injection, offers up to 99% protection for those at higher risk. These tools can be combined for even greater safety. Open conversations with healthcare providers and partners are key. By taking these steps, you protect yourself and help end the epidemic. Prevention is in your hands. The message is simple: kissing is safe. The fear that once surrounded it is a myth, debunked by decades of science. Closed-mouth kissing carries no risk. Deep kissing is so low risk, it's a non-issue. Saliva's natural defenses keep you protected. Letting go of fear helps end stigma and brings us closer together. Focus on real prevention: condoms, testing, and PrEP. Let's stop worrying about phantom risks and embrace real solutions. Share a kiss, hold your loved ones close, and live guided by knowledge. The science is clear, connection is safe. Let love and truth lead the way.